Hey there, welcome to Evolving Together, the podcast for navigating all things midlife with honesty, humor, and heart. I am your host, Heidi Sexton, and we are talking today about transitions and how we redefine our style as we get older and how it's all related. My guest with me is Susan, and she is my BFF, my ride or die. I got to stop saying that, but it's true. It's true. You're
I
the
will bury
person.
body. Yeah, that's right. Because I will bury body
If
for
I
you.
call
So
you
yeah.
in the middle of the night and say, I need your help, you put on that bra and you grab your shovel and you show up. So yes, that's my girl. She is a pretty remarkable woman, and not just because she's been my bestie for over 35 years, but she has had quite a career in marketing and a lot of transitions. And we talk about these things all the time. And I think this is an important conversation because, well, you don't have to be in midlife to obviously have major transitions happening career-wise and also wanting to redefine your style. The person that we reflect to the outside is what's happening on the inside. But definitely in midlife, we are presented with a lot of opportunities physically and in our relationships. But sometimes these things happen that we don't see coming, and they're opportunities for growth and evolving, to be honest. So you recently, Susan, had a pretty major transition at the end, mid last year. You were. I'll
September.
let you
Yeah.
share what was going on
Yeah.
and where you came
Yeah.
from.
Sure. I would say, so just in terms of milestones, right? The transition back in September, I went from being in corporate marketing for, I would say, about 11 or so years. I've been in marketing for 30 some odd years, but the last 11 or so in corporate marketing and technology. And I got caught up in all of the layoffs that were kind of going around and infecting a lot of the technology companies. And it wasn't necessarily a terrible thing in and of itself, right? But it was completely unexpected. So I think when I think about the transition from being, gainfully employed, for the most part happy with what I was doing, to not being employed. And I'm sure there's a ton of people that can relate to what that's like and what's going on. When it happens at a time in your life where you're already trying to figure out who you are as you're aging, because society is trying to tell you who you are as you're aging, um, it did add a whole layer um, of just challenge in the whole thing. I mean, I was already going through a little reflection. I used to pride myself in thinking I had a good sense of style for myself, right? I felt very confident in expressing myself through clothes and just, again, just what I liked and how I put things together. And then COVID happened. And I think a lot of people can relate that during COVID, when we were becoming more homebound, when jobs became more remote, when we did not have to put in as much effort on how we presented ourselves in the office and at meetings, and we only needed to look good from the waist up for Zoom calls,
Right.
that I kind of stopped trying, I think, like a lot of people, right? Then COVID sort of, everybody, society, right? We kind of caught up, and I still had to show up in public, and I was showing up in public looking like, who the heck is this person? And to add to that, I live in the South. I live in Georgia. And this is not a diss on the Southern style, but that is not my style. But it's everywhere. And I got swept up in it thinking, okay, I live in the South. I'm going to get caught up in the Southern style, and I'm going to wear pastels and puffy sleeves and, all the things. And I just would look in the mirror and not be happy. Like, this is not me. Like, and who the hell am I? I used to be this person over here. Now I'm getting older. I don't really have to be in public. I don't need to care as much in a way, but I do care. I don't want to look like I'm old. I don't want to
Oh,
dress like an old person. Then I'd have my daughter who would say, "Oh, that's like an old lady would wear that." I'm like, "Oh, damn it. I'm not an old lady." I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that either. It's just like I didn't identify with any of this stuff.
well, can I just
So
say too, you worked from home for
a
those
lot. Yeah.
11 years,
Yeah.
pretty much, I think,
Yeah.
right? And you were actually working from home remotely way before it was a thing.
Yes. Yes.
Way, way, way before.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting to hear you say that when COVID hit, you kind of slacked a little bit too. I mean, you
Yeah.
only had to look good from your shoulders up,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
for most of your career, unless you had a meeting, a face to
Right.
face meeting, which
Yeah.
wasn't very
No.
often.
No.
So it's interesting that when everybody started going remote, that
Yeah.
also affected you in that way. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Well,
And
yeah, that is kinda also interesting that you pointed out because before that, before COVID, even though I was working remotely, I was a little younger. Maybe I was going out more. I don't know. So I still felt like I was still a little more pulled together that way, but I was slowly kind of, my style was becoming still not me. Like I said, I was living in the South around that time. I moved down here in
mhm.
2013. Um, so I got caught up in this whole Southern style, which wasn't, like I said, wasn't me. And then I didn't have to put as much effort into what I looked like because I
Mhm.
was working remotely. And then COVID, and then that was even more of like, no one cares, right? Like now I don't even go out. So why do I even care? Right? Like I'm not even being social anymore. Um, and now I'm aging and now I'm like, I don't want to look like I'm trying too hard.
Oh,
Like
I
I don't
oh
want to look like,
gosh, I know.
I don't want to
Yeah.
look like I'm trying to dress like my 20-something-year-old daughter. Um, so I have been since then really trying to figure out what is my style, which is very intricately connected to yourself, right? And
Yeah.
where you are mentally and where you are in your life and what am I doing in this new sort of part of my life, right? Yeah, it's all like intertwined.
Yeah, I remember one time
Wow.
we went shopping and you were like, "I don't actually have clothes to wear outside my house." I thought, "What? What do you mean?" And it never occurred to me that you could literally stay at your house for the entire week, not seeing another person unless online,
Yeah.
and maybe a trip to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Of course, to me, that sounds like heaven, but I love being home. I love not leaving my house. Like, people have to extract me. It's hard. You make a good dairy-free cake, I'll show up anywhere, but I am not leaving my house hardly ever. I just remember thinking, "Oh, that's really interesting. I never thought about that," because I was a teacher for 14 years. And so I had my teaching clothes, which changed throughout that career because when I started, I was in elementary and I would have a lot of cargo pants and I would call them my squirrel pants and I would stuff things in my pockets because I was constantly running from room to room as an assistant originally. And I had to have my staple removers and I mean, I had everything in my pockets because I had, I was going room to room and I didn't always know where the teachers had their things. And then I got my own classroom. And so then I could control the temperature in the room and I didn't have to run miles through the hallway to different classrooms. So I could wear cuter shoes and cuter outfits. And then I got to the high school level, and so it's like my clothing changed with each transition,
Mhm.
but I was still trying to stay true to me.
Mhm.
And then I stopped teaching, I retired, and then I ended up spending a lot of time at home and then realizing I didn't actually have clothes to wear out.
Right.
Like out in public. I don't mean out like on a night out. I didn't have
Yeah.
those either really. And I thought, "Oh, this is what Susan was talking about." That like who am I now because I got rid of most of my teacher clothes. A lot of those I wouldn't be caught dead with in public. They were functional clothing, they were professional.
Mhm.
I could layer, I could mix and match. They were not wrinkleable. They weren't whatever. They
What is that
they
word?
didn't wrinkle easily.
Yeah.
They were just
Wrinkle
kind of
proof.
yeah, wrinkle proof. Thank you. They were nondescript, and they definitely tended more towards the older person, except when I would wear my Converse high tops that I had in every color, and so I had to redefine too, plus
Yeah.
I'd put weight on. So
Mhm.
when I
Oh, yeah.
started looking at the clothing but even before I put weight on, the weight was adjusting and moving.
Yeah.
So I might get on a scale and weigh the same, but what is this around my rib cage? And what is going
Mhm.
on? And I got hip dents. I just learned what that is. It's like
What's that?
a hip
I
dent.
actually don't mind. I wanted some hit. I actually kind of like the fact that I was gaining weight in this whole like menopause, whatever, perimenopause, the pauses. And
Mhm.
Because I have no booty and I have no hips. That's a very Asian thing, and I kind of like the fact that I was getting a little, like, cushion
Yeah, if you're listening
around.
and you're not if you're not watching the video, Susan's 100% Korean, so
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can't see me.
she's all Asian.
That's right, you can't see me.
No
So,
no
yeah, so I
booty,
like
but
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was happy to get a little, little rounder, around that, except for, yeah, like, what the heck around the stomach, like that, I didn't sign up for that. Just the
No.
hips and the booty, that's all I wanted.
You still have legs of a 20-year-old though, like, your legs are
Uh-huh.
killer, you know? But, it's true. So you had
Yeah.
this major transition from corporate. Now you do your own thing. I'll let you
Oh,
share a
yeah.
little bit about that.
Right. Okay. So so what's interesting is actually while I was still in corporate marketing, to your point about I really had no reason to leave home. And there were studies, I think there have been studies that basically talked about the impact of working remotely and the isolationism and everything that happens. And so I was really feeling that. And so I wanted to get out and I wanted some human interaction and some social connection. So I went and found a part time job at a winery, and I started working at a tasting room on the weekends, just every once a maybe 3 times a month or something. So, nothing huge, not a lot of hours, but it got me out, and that's when I started thinking, "Oh, I have a reason to be out in public. How do I wanna represent myself? Like, how do I wanna be seen?" Right? As an aging Asian, um, fe I started to think about that, and then now what I'm doing after I got laid off, I started working for the same family that owned that winery. They opened up a wine bar, actually closer to where I live, and I'm working for them, contract work, and I'm managing their events and marketing and all that kind of stuff. And I now also, again, have a reason to be out in public and to look nice and to figure out, well, again, how do I want to be seen? What do I want to exude? Who am I? What does that look like? And so I've been having a lot of fun playing around with outfits. And I used to think that I had to kind of pick a style and stick with it. And I kind of knew this in the back of my head, but I always felt like I was breaking rules or something that I shouldn't be breaking. And now I'm like, I don't care if I'm breaking rules. So I'm
Mm,
going to wear whatever I want. And I'm feeling like a cowgirl one day. I'm going to wear my cowboy hat and my Western boots and that cute, the jeans and the top. And then if the next day I want to look like I'm a grunge girl with my camo and my CBGB shirt, I'm going to wear that. And if I want to look like I just stepped out of a corporate meeting room and I want to wear my tailored pants and my nice little vest, I'm going to wear that. Like, I don't care. I think what I realized is my style is whatever it is that I'm in the mood for.
yeah. It's really eclectic, and I'm mine is too, uh, depending on my mood, and I think that it's always been like that,
Yeah.
but I feel there's that freedom in midlife, and then when you
Yeah.
have the added transition of your work is changing, it's a liberation.
Mhm.
But it does
Mhm.
take a little effort to say, "Okay, am I wearing this because I want to? Am I wearing it because I used to wear it and it used to look good on me? Or am I wearing it because
Oh, I did that. I used to do that a
Yeah.
lot. I would wear it and I'd think, "This doesn't work anymore, but I love it, but it doesn't work anymore. So
Isn't
what do
that
I do?" Then
yeah,
it's like, "What do I do then?"
and it's so weird because it's like you still right, yeah, you still love it. And you had
Yeah.
mentioned that, that like more of the Southern conservative
Yeah.
dressing, the puffy sleeves, which are very, very popular right now, and they look super cute on some people,
Yeah.
but not everybody, and they're
Right.
definitely not my style.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate certain styles and fashion trends, but does not mean it works for me.
That's exactly right. Because I
Yeah.
think it's so cute, the ruffles and the patterns. I'm like, A, I wish I looked good in that. I'm short, so those can tend to overwhelm my frame, the puffs and the
Mm.
ruffles, and the billowy kind of, maxi kind of style, tiered styles. We call them baby doll dresses back in the
Oh,
'80s.
yeah,
Now they
yeah.
call them something else, but
Yeah, with the Empire waistline,
yes, and
and
all
it's
that.
like I looked probably
Yeah.
ridiculous then too, because I'm tall and I have
Oh,
broad shoulders, so I probably looked goofy as hell, but I liked it. I don't maybe I
yeah,
didn't. I
it was
don't
trendy
know.
then.
I don't know. I'd have to look back at pictures and be critical of myself and
Well,
pass
but the thing
judgment.
is that we were like yeah, which is a terrible thing to do, but we were
Exactly.
young. I mean, we were in our 20s. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. You're in your 20s and you're doing that. It looked great. Now, not being in your 20s. that's maybe not what you're looking for, going for. But then there's some people
Yeah.
that do. I mean, style is all what works for you and what you're comfortable in, really.
Well, and that's something that I've just decided that so we both went to Fashion Institute of Technology, so we
Mhm,
both have degrees from there, and so,
mhm,
the idea that we should be these fashionistas or something. I'm not up on very many
mhm,
trends.
mhm,
Even when I was, I've never been trendy.
mhm,
So I had to redefine my style within myself and not I didn't look at I never did look at the trends, but I also don't wanna look like I'm stuck in the '90s, which actually I think the '90s are in. I don't even know, but
You might, yeah,
it doesn't matter because 'cause I'm not doing that anyway. I'm doing what's in for me, and that means comfortable. It means easy to care for. I wanna be able to pack things that don't so they will not wrinkle. I like to look nice,
mhm,
but I also, uh just finding my style that fits my body the way it is now and my
mhm,
lifestyle.
mhm.
And that has been pretty different. Well, I don't know if it's that different. I mean, I guess if you looked at pictures, you'd probably think it was the same. I haven't changed at all, maybe. I don't know. Hey, I have a huge favor to ask you. Okay, two favors. First, could you stop and go to wherever you're listening and give the Evolving Together podcast a 5-star review? That would mean so much. It helps the podcast move up in visibility. The other request that I have, please, 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 is could you share this podcast with at least one person that you think needs to hear this information? Thank you so much. So you work for the winery. I'm wondering, now that you have more freedom, I think, I mean, when I think of like
Yeah,
working for a winery, uh, that's
or
kind of
wine bar.
wine
A wine
bar.
bar?
That's
Yeah,
funky. That's
yeah.
funky and fun and more free spirited, which is you. So I feel like that probably helped design or helped inform your choices for
Mm,
fashion and your
yes.
re redevelopment. No, refinement? No. What's the word I'm looking for?
Redefining?
Redefining. I feel like that probably helped redefine
Yeah,
fashion for what fashion meant for Susan right now, not just midlife, but just that
right.
freedom to say, "Okay, I'm gonna dress the way I want to dress."
Mhm.
Am I
Yes.
right?
Yep, absolutely. That's where I started experimenting and I started just embracing these different things that I liked, these styles that I liked. Want to I didn't want to walk away or suppress or reject. I guess that's the word. I didn't want to reject these things that I liked in my wardrobe. Um, that CBGB's t-shirt. I actually got at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame decades ago now. But CBGB's was something that we grew up with when we were in school.
Yeah.
Um,
Rest its
and I love
soul. It's so sad it
Yeah,
closed,
I
finally.
know.
Aw. Anyway.
And, yeah, and I like camo, and I also like really nice tailored pants and jackets. I went thrifting and found this really beautiful wool tweed, brown tweed Calvin Klein jacket. It's
Nice.
gorgeous, leather
Nice.
buttons and everything,
Ooh.
for like $30. This wine bar, I can wear kind of whatever I want, right? As long as I look presentable. So I can look kind of funky. I can look a little grungy, but like, hip grungy. I can go in and look all tailored depending upon what it is. If I'm meeting a customer, to talk about a private event, or if we're hosting a monthly wine tasting, and I want to class it up a little. I host trivia. Sometimes like hosting trivia, I want to look, really cute put together. Other times I just want to be a little more like, yeah, casual and wear my baggy jeans and just something like I don't know. I definitely feel more free in how I can express myself, when I'm
Yeah.
shopping now. And as long as I'm not, if my daughter's wearing it, I stay away from it. Right. So that's my rule of thumb. Like if I could picture this on my daughter and if I'm in the junior section, I've got to be like, even if I'm in the junior section, I'm like, that is such a cute shirt. I'm like, no. And I pivot and I walk away and I go somewhere else. Now, someone may say, like, that's dumb, but you know?
I used to be
Wear
judgy
what
of
you want.
yeah, my mom and I used to make this joke about polyester pantsuits with elastic waistbands. It's like,
Yes.
if you ever see me in a polyester pantsuit with an elastic waistband, I'm done, right? And
Now I love elastic
I
waistband.
know elastic is our best friend. So now the polyester has changed quite a bit. So
Yes.
I'm not hating things that are made out of polyester. It's not your mama's or your grandma's polyester
That's
anymore.
right.
So it's come a long way. It's packable.
My gosh.
But I'm with you on that. Like, I just got rid of a bunch of dresses that they were super cute, but they were so short. And I thought, I look really good in these and I can still get away with it. That, quote, get
Yeah.
away with. I'm like, but do I really want to be getting away with anything? I want to
Yeah.
feel comfortable in what I'm wearing and not,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think I used to be very judgy, reverse judgment. I would look at older people and think, well, I'm not going to dress like that one day. Or I would make the comment to myself that if I feel like wearing something, I'm going to wear it. I don't care how old I am.
Mhm.
I'm not going to worry about showing my arms or this or
Mhm.
that. And I think it's less about that and more about what feels good. And
Mhm.
am I putting on things that support how I want to feel?
Mhm.
Because that projects out to the
Mhm.
world. If I'm in
Mhm.
something that I don't that's like I had this cute, cute dress from the loft, and I still have it. I probably need to just get rid of it. It's adorable. It's probably too adorable for my style, to be honest.
Mhm.
And it's very short in the back, probably because my booty fills up, and it raises it up in the back. I don't think it was designed that way.
You have a good booty
I
though.
got a booty, and especially since I've been doing more yoga, but and my what do you call my squats and stuff. But when I wear it, I can't sit down. There's nothing under my butt. And I thought, I'm not going to wear this
Oh,
out anymore. I would rather have something that's a little longer. When I sit down, I'm not wondering if like my bare
yes.
ass is on the seat. I don't,
That's right.
it's stuff like that. And I think my style, it's funny because I'm wearing a white t-shirt. That was my uniform when I lived in New York City. I had my
Yeah.
white t-shirt, my scarves, my black jeans, my black boots, my black leather jacket. It hasn't honestly changed a whole lot, except that I think I'm a little bit more relaxed in some of my styles. I don't really wear black jeans anymore, too much. I think it's kind of interesting that our styles haven't changed.
Right.
How do
Right.
we transition with our body changes and our age and our careers and all those things and still stay true to who we are
Mhm.
and express that through clothing?
Mhm.
And think that that inner person is always, I don't want to say always the same, but I feel like we're more free to honor that inner.
Yes, bingo. And I would agree with that. And I think it's kind of full circle because I think one of the comments I made earlier was before I felt like I was maybe breaking rules, right? And I felt, and I didn't like the feeling, right? Like I need to pick a style and stick with it. And if I didn't, and I kind of strayed, then I was breaking a rule. Like, well, that's not me, right? It's not me. If I wear this, that's not me. Whereas now, I don't care about the rules.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm gonna wear it because, in fact, that is me.
Hell
That
yeah.
all of that is me, right? And I want to make a comment too for listeners. There's some listeners. I think there's probably some listeners who do have that uniform, like you were talking about, that you had. Your white T-shirt and your black jeans, and that scarf. Some people kind of have a uniform that they're comfortable with, right? It's the t-shirts, right? The graphic tees and the this or the whatever it is, right? That they're comfortable with. That is completely fine. It's okay. Again, we're all different, right? And so if you happen to be somebody who has sort of thought you've maybe lost your identity through your style, then this is good, right? This is for you, or someone who's kind of going through that. It's like they're kind of changing, right? And that's okay, right? They used to be wearing
Mm,
something and knew who they were one way, and now things have changed and they're experimenting with clothes, and just
absolutely.
support them.
Yeah. Well, and midlife too, if you look at midlife starting at the end of your 30s-ish, around there, going into your 60s-ish. I don't think that it's 40 to 60, whatever. I mean,
That's a lot.
you're
40 to
you're
60.
looking at potentially having young children or grandchildren, so you may be crawling on the floor, dealing with
Yep.
spit up,
Yep.
to retiring. And
Mhm.
so this is huge range of opportunities to say, well, this works for me now, or this doesn't work for me anymore. I need something with
Right.
more stretch.
Yep.
And I had to go through my closet and get rid of a lot of things I was holding on to. I was the same weight for, gosh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
same size, same weight. And so I just had clothing in my closet that I loved, and I would pull it out every now and then, and I'd wear it, and sometimes I wouldn't wear it for, that thing about get rid of anything you didn't wear in 6
Yeah.
months. I
Yeah.
don't do that because I won't wear something for 2 years and all of a sudden be like, "Oh, I wanna wear that again."
Yeah.
So I've never been able to do that, and maybe it's because
Yeah.
it's clothing. I'm kinda weird about all my vintage things that I hang on to that I'll never wear because, again, not my style anymore. I don't know if it was ever my style, probably when I was, late teens, early 20s, I'd wear like the old dresses and cool vintage stuff, but
Yeah.
I still have it because I like to preserve things too. But anyway, I, went through my closet because I thought, "Well, I'm not teaching anymore. I think I'm gonna get rid of some things," and so I did, and then I kept a bunch of things because I thought, "Well, these will be cute for going to Colorado in the winter. I wanna be nice and cozy in sweaters."
Mhm.
I don't wear them in the South too much. Well, when I went through my clothes, I realized they didn't fit. So I didn't have to worry about, "Oh, should I keep this or should I not keep it?" Because they did not fit, and I
Yeah.
thought, "Okay, I'm not ever going to be 10 pounds lighter," or, well, let's see, I'm probably 12 pounds, a solid 12 pounds heavier. Actually, no, probably 16 pounds from my
Mm.
normal weight. Slowly, that weight crept on over the years, and, during COVID, I remember I gained, like, 20 pounds or something like a lot of people did. Oddly enough, I wasn't drinking any alcohol. I was the one person that was not drinking during COVID.
Yeah.
That's another story, but I gained this weight from stress, I guess, and then I lost it, but it slowly kept creeping back, and I realize now that what's there now has been there for a while, and I'm not gonna hang on to something. I'm not looking to put on any more weight, but I'm also not looking to lose a lot of weight. So, I went through my closet. There were a few things I thought, "Well, let me see if I should keep this," and then I went to try it on, I thought, "It doesn't even fit." It's not even option of should I keep it? It's like, what, you're gonna, frame it and put it in your hallway?
Uh,
I mean, it's dress a doll?
right?
It's like it's not gonna
My
fit.
gosh.
So I had to get more things to replace those things, and I thought, "Okay, well, I had 2 pairs of white jeans or white pants that I kept forever, and they did not fit." I'm like, "Well, I need another pair of white pants, white jeans." So
Yeah.
I got some, but it's fun, I think, giving yourself
Mhm.
that liberation to be able to say, "I like this, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna wear it," or to say, "I like this, but it's not me and I'm not gonna buy it." I think,
Right.
you know, but I think, it's fun. I love your style,
Yes.
and, the great thing about us is we never fight over clothing on the sale rack because
No.
we don't have the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah. We've talked about that, right? We have different taste in clothes and different taste in men. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
actually, I think that's a good recipe for like, how to pick a good friend because then you're never fighting over anything like really fundamental.
Right. That's right, clothing and men. Awesome. Well, I think that this has been fun, and, we can look at clothing as frivolous, but it's not. It
Mhm.
really helps define who we are, how we wanna show up in the world,
Mhm.
and how we are perceived, but most
Mhm.
important, does it match how we wanna feel? And we wanna feel
Mhm.
ourselves, we wanna feel strong and comfortable
Mhm.
and relaxed and sexy and
Confident.
all the things,
Yeah.
and there's no reason that we can't do that and still embrace our own style. So, thank you so much. This has been
You're
so
welcome.
fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you're gonna be one of my repeaters for sure because we just have so many things to talk about.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Love you.
Okay.
Mwah.
Bye.
And now for the disclaimer. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended as professional advice. The views expressed are our own and should not be taken as medical, legal, or financial guidance. Always consult a qualified professional regarding your specific situation. By listening, you agree that we are not liable for any actions taken based on this content.